Andy, maybe you can bring us up to date on some Rangers news. What's been happening at Ibrox?
It's been a bit of a confusing one. Ryan Naderi, it seems as well accounts, if I've been told, has flown to Manchester early on this morning for a medical. It looked at that point like a deal was progressing. Obviously, after the news last night that Cameron Archer's move from Southampton was sort of falling through because of Southampton's need to keep cover, having agreed to sell Adam Armstrong to Wolves for something like £7 million. Now, Naderi's obviously come across, having his medical. There's obviously an agreement in place for him to come in the summer, a verbal agreement. Rangers will, well, accounts looking to expedite that today, but it seems at the moment that Hansa Rostock, Naderi's German club, are sticking to their guns. They're not quite yet ready to let him leave. They've got a big promotion push. They're sitting sixth in the German third division. They believe that they can get promoted and believe that he's the man to do it. So as things stand, I think there's talks are ongoing, but as things stand, they've not quite reached an agreement to get him here. So where that leaves Rangers in their hunt for a striker, not quite sure. See that,
Andy, this feels a bit serious, this situation for Rangers, because
I think
they said they acknowledged all along.
Yeah, yesterday they demonstrated that they really are short on firepower and creative spark in the final third. Just to go back on, but Southampton are signing a Canadian international, Kyle Larin, but I'm told that he is just going in as a replacement for Adam Armstrong and won't be the replacement for Cameron Archer. So, as I say, yeah, where it leaves Rangers right now is to be seen.
I mean, one of the comments that's come in, Andy, from Jason Clark, simply says he's really surprised that Rangers haven't done more business today. He says, I'm surprised Rangers haven't done much business. After yesterday's performance, they needed a creative midfielder and striker. Did you think they'd be more active today?
If you'd asked me last week, I would have said that I still thought they would get a couple in. So Scott McDermott and myself were in Porto last week, and as we're flying home, there was some calls coming in and seemed to suggest that club are happy with their business. They brought 3 players in already. There might only be one more in, and it was a kind of 50-50 thing. I think at that point they were still confident that the Archer deal would go through. I think it just shows you kind of where Rangers are in the sort of food chain, the pecking order. There's deals above. And the knock-on effects mean that Rangers might have to miss out. The club owners will say that, listen, they've shelled out an awful lot of money, £38 million in the summer. Another, depending if Scott Wilson signs permanently, you're talking another £10 million plus in January. So the fact that, they haven't got another couple in, I think they'll feel that they've done the most they can. But it's one of these ones, I think, again, the result like yesterday, some of the performances, like Scott Wilson, hasn't really caught fire yet. I think a lot of the punters are now thinking, no, they need something more. They've got themselves, you think about where they were when Danny Rowe came in, 13 points behind Hearts. They were nowhere. They were dead and buried as far as the title races is concerned. So the fact that they've got themselves back into this position, I think a lot of fans are thinking that if they could have just got another couple in and make the most of the opportunity that now is presented to them, that then they've given it as good. They can say they've given it as good as they got, but with the way it's going now, it doesn't look like they might get in the end tonight. Then I think there'll be a few questions asked about whether or not they gave this as good a go as they could have.
Bunzy, what are you hearing on potential Rangers incomings, if anything?
I know that Cameron Archer's camp haven't closed the door on Rangers yet. So obviously it's difficult, but I think the player's still keen to make the move. I think, as Andy said, they're signing a Canadian international. They were trying to get another player on loan, but that's now vetoed. Southampton, I've said, I think they're still trying to get one more in. If they can get one more in, and it would be a late one, then that would leave the door open for Archer. But Archer's camp are certainly not closing the door as it stands.
And just in terms of the whole Naderi thing, Andy, Scott, I suspected yesterday that wasn't dead. I thought something would happen today. I thought that would move a little bit. Is it total impasse, or are the Germans just holding out here to see what more they can squeeze out of Rangers over the next few hours?
As far as I know, the talks are ongoing. I was told as about an hour ago, talks were ongoing. So, as far as I'm aware, I don't know what Scott's hearing. I don't think it's dead, but I think they've already had to substantially increase the offer that they put in last week, which is about £2.5 million. Add-ons, I think there was another bid that was above that, but I think that they are going to have to, at this stage, you're going to have to probably go big or go home, aren't you? So I think they're going to have to probably find themselves paying a wee bit over the odds if they want to get them this month. That's the, right now the Germans are sitting there with a whip hand. They can claim what they want. They can ask. They can set their own price here. So it might have to go late, but it all depends on whether or not we've seen them previously. Rangers refuse to pay above what they think is fair. So Danny Rowe wasn't utterly convincing yesterday when he spoke about. He was asked if he felt the squad was strong enough to go the distance. I don't think many punters will look at that team and go, that's the amount of firepower that's required. The last few weeks they've been relying heavily on set pieces, and as you saw yesterday, when the set piece delivery dries up, they look a fairly ordinary side. So yeah, I think if they're serious about the title, I think they'll go and pay the money. But time will tell.
I know we need to let you go. Sorry, go on, Burnsy.
The fact the players flow to Manchester though shows that obviously he wants to move. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that puts a fair amount of pressure on Hansa Rostock to try and get a deal done. I mean, he's put his cards on the table, isn't he? It's like
he's not flown into Manchester this afternoon to have a medical about a move in May or June or something. He seems to me as if he's trying to force the issue, Burnsy. I think you're right.
What I was going to say there was, but I know we need to let you go in 2 seconds, Andy, but Derek in the comments says 2 weeks ago everyone was saying great transfer window for Rangers. Now what is everyone thinking? We just can't create a thing. Asgard is a huge problem. Have Rangers had a good transfer window if they get Naderi over the line? Do you think that's Danny Rowe will look at it and be quite happy with his business?
Listen, I think in terms of Rangers, they were always trying to unpick the damage done in the summer. And there's undoubtedly a few of the guys that were signed in the summer have belatedly come to the party, like Arne Fernandez, but obviously Joe Rothwell, we expect to be leaving the club in the next few minutes. There's other guys there that, Atello Asgard, Agasama, who have, blown hot and cold. So this window was always about trying to repair the damage that was done in the summer under Russell Martin and Kevin Thirlwell. But I think as well, performances like yesterday, like Scott Olsen, there was so much excitement, so much enthusiasm about him coming in. Rightly or wrongly, fairly or not, that's a guy that hasn't kicked a ball since the 7th of March when he had a 3-minute cameo against Werder Bremen. His last 90 minutes was against, was back in mid-September. And in between times, then he had 3 games where he was taken off at half time. That's a guy who hasn't been playing regularly or hasn't been playing well. You've got to say for a wee while now, and it's going to take him time to get back to his best if he can. So I think that maybe some of the enthusiasm that was flowing around that move has dampened his first couple of performances. Whether he can get back, Danny Rose speaking yesterday was confident that he could get back to playing his best, but he admitted it's when you sign guys in January. It's usually because they haven't been playing a lot of football, and it does take them time to come in and get themselves up to speed.